Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on Crisis on Infinite Earths. And this will be my review for Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 4 and 5, aka Arrow Season 8, Episode 8, and Legends of Tomorrow Season 5, Episode 1, if you want to call it. But, anyways, just wow. This crossover was awesome, especially these last two parts. But before I do the review, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't watched these episodes, then stop watching this video because I will be covering some major spoilers that you wouldn't want to hear from me, and it's Crisis, so why would you just want to hear the spoiler from me? But yeah, also you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Okay, so part 4 kicks off with the planet Malthus, and we get a flashback, not really a flashback, but whatever. We get this scene of Marnovu, aka the Monitor, and he's trying to travel to the dawn of time. But then he ends up in the dawn of time of the antimatter universe, and he encounters the anti-Monitor. And even in this scene we meet Marnovu's wife as well, and we find out that this suit that he's wearing protects him from radiation, apparently. So yeah, that's good to know. We then see our paragons in the vanishing point, and we see Ryan Choi writing a letter to his dead wife, and he talks about what happened to the heroes while stuck in the vanishing point. We then find out that Barry, aka the Flash, had gone missing into the Speed Force. Now we then get the flashbacks of Oliver, and then we see the Spectre, and then we hear his voice, and it just sounds so badass. And Jim Corrigan was telling him everything, all of the punches you threw, the arrows you fired, every kick you landed, is all led you to this moment. This Jim Corrigan tells him everything he needs to know, things like that. And then he's like, let's go get your friends. And Oliver is the one who rescues the heroes from the vanishing point, and he tells the heroes the plan on how to restore, bring a new universe to life. But first, he allows Barry and the others tap into the Speed Force. But while running to the Speed Force, Barry encounters the Anti-Monitor. So this results to all the heroes being separated. Barry then talks to a Speed Force version of some Oliver Queen in a suit. They start talking, and then Barry then encounters Ezra Miller's Flash, which was awesome. And they talk together. They're like, "Oh, nice suit. My name is Barry. Oh, what? Not again." Things like that. Now this means that the DCEU is part of the Arrowverse, which is so cool. And probably this cameo got everyone going crazy around the internet. It was so unexpected, and it was just so cool. And we also find out that Ezra Miller's Flash takes the name The Flash from Earth 1 Barry, which is cool. Now I am interested to see if this name from the Flash will play on in his movie. He says, "Oh, another Flash from another alternate reality said that, gave me the name," something like that. But yeah, and then we see Kate, and then she appears in Palmer Tech, and we get the sequence back in season 3 where Oliver and Ray were essentially arguing, but then she appears, and Oliver just goes "Who are you?" And then we see John Jones, and he appeared in the Invasion crossover when Oliver was talking to Kara. And then he tells them how he wasn't supposed to end up there. And then we do also see Sarah Lance down in her dead table. And what was this? Season 3, I think? Whatever. And we see Earth 1 Laurel there, which was cool, but it was pretty short. But then we see Barry speed her out, and then the reactions from what's his name? Those two, Diggle and Laurel, were just funny. Now, one of my favorite scenes was when Barry goes to Elseworlds and speaks to Oliver, and then Barry finds out that Oliver changed destiny, so he would die instead of him and Kara, and it was such a great scene in my opinion. And then I can't remember from the top of my head, but Oliver did also have a nice line talking about death and stuff. It was just a very good it was just a very good scene in general. Now we have Kara, Ryan, and Lex Luthor travel to the Monitor's planet, and not a surprise at all. Lex Luthor betrays Supergirl and says, "Oh, I have my own plans," things like that. And we find out that Lex Luthor also used the Book of Destiny to give him some superpowers as well. Now Lex Luthor then goes to Mar Novu and tries to convince him into a plan, but Kara and Ryan Choi appear last minute, and Lex Luthor is like, "Oh come on, you just spoiled a good supervillain moment," something like that. I can't remember what it was. Now we then got the Battle of Dawn of Time, which was epic, and then we had Spectre versus the Anti Monitor for the formation of the new universe. But that fight was very short between Spectre and the Anti Monitor, but gave me goosebumps, especially when you hear the Spectre fighting against the Anti Monitor, and he delivers a strong punch, and both of them fly away, and they do these blasts and stuff, and Oliver just goes, "You have failed this universe," in his creepy voice. It just sounded so badass. But then we had Oliver shoot a heat vision type of thing, the spark, and then he's about to create a new universe. But then this results to Oliver Queen dying again. But this death scene was so sad. And then this is where part 4 ends. Part 5 starts with Kara waking up in her apartment, and then we go to a ceremony in which Lex Luthor wins the Nobel Prize. Now we will see Lex Luthor in Supergirl season 5. So for those who are wondering why Lex Luthor wasn't in the final fight and stuff, I'm guessing you would find out from there. So just watch the first 2 episodes of Supergirl or something to find out more about Lex Luthor. Now we see the Weather Witch appear in National City, and Supergirl and the Flash appear, and they defeat them. And then Marv Wolfman, who's the guy who wrote the original Crisis on Infinite Earths comic book, appears, and he makes a cameo, and he asks for an autograph from the Flash and Supergirl, which was cool. And then we also find out that Central City and National City are very near each other now. Now we then see Sarah meet up with Ray again, and Jean restores Ray's memories because he doesn't remember anything. And then we head to the Arrow bunker, and then we find out that Jean already gave them their memories to find out what happened to Oliver. And then we find out that Felicity went for a hunt on finding Oliver, when Sarah's like, "He's the Spectre, you cannot find him." And then Sarah finally accepts that Oliver Queen is dead. Now we do see Nash Wells, and he does play a decent role in this episode. Now Nash could get affected a lot because of this, as it is technically his fault that Crisis on Infinite Earths is happening. So I am interested to see what we will see from Nash during The Flash at post-Crisis. Now Barry and Kara find out about Oliver, and that Oliver wasn't there, obviously. Now we had this Bebo attack, which was hilarious. Now obviously this is Legends of Tomorrow, so you would accept some stupid comedy. But yeah, we had Bebo, and I missed that guy. When did we last see him? I think it was season 3, in the last fight against Mullis, I think the bad guy was. Now we find out that the antimatter universe is the antimatter is arriving in Star City from Nash Wells, and then Sarah and Barry have this nice moments talking about their previous memories with Oliver, which was really sad. Then they get attacked by the shadow demons, and then they find out that Ryan Choi is in trouble, so Ryan Choi gets saved by Sarah. Now Black Lightning again did barely do anything in this episode, but he still had a decent amount of scenes. He had some in Star Labs while fighting the shadow demons, and he had some towards the ending as well, which I will get to later on. Now we then get the final battle between the heroes and the Anti-Monitor, and it was awesome. Now we had a very touching scene, for me at least, when all the heroes are just like for Oliver and then they attack the Anti-Monitor. But then we see the Anti-Monitor grow, like in his, well, he, in the comics he's a lot more huger than this, but we still see him grow. Now I know that other people were saying like, nah, he's not gonna grow, this is his normal size. But yeah, we've seen him grow. Now I don't know about you guys, but for me the CGI was a bit dodgy in my opinion, but it was still a very cool scene. Now Nashwell's on the other, well, Barry technically constructs the shrinking bomb, and then Barry calls Ray. He's like, "Okay, come, you're up," and then the Anti-Monitor's like holding Superman, about to like choke him, I guess, and then what's it called? Superman ends up shrinking, and then the Anti-Monitor shrinks as well, and then he disappears. So the Anti-Monitor gets defeated. Anti-Monitor, Anti-Monitor, whatever. I call him Anti-Monitor. But yeah, as I said, the Anti-Monitor gets defeated. Now, we then get like a recap type thing in what happened in the Earth, and we see Diggle with Lila, and now he has his two kids. Baby John, who was his like post Flashpoint child, and then baby Sarah, who was his pre Flashpoint child. So she's been restored from Flashpoint. So does this mean that we will see like older Sarah in, what's his name, Green Arrow and the Canaries? I'm interested to see if that will happen. Now, we also find out that Superman had, well, Earth 38 Superman, now in Earth Prime, has two kids, which I don't know what to say about this. I guess we are just gonna have to wait and see in the new show coming next year. But I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. I think it should have been like Damian Wayne and then his child. But yeah, we'll see what Clark Kent is gonna do with his two children in his own TV show coming next year. Now we get a voiceover of Oliver, and he's talking about the new multiverse, and he is like, and then we get this like clips where showing us the new multiverse. Now we see Earth 2 with Stargirl and the Justice Society of America, and then we go to Earth 12 with Oa, which is the Green Lantern's planet, and then we see a Green Lantern flying, which was awesome. Now I don't know if it was Hal Jordan or what's his name, John Stewart, but yeah, Earth Prime Diggle is next in the line, hopefully. And then we see Earth 19 with Swamp Thing, Earth 9 with the Titans, Earth 21 with Doom Patrol, and then again Earth 96 with Kingdom Come Superman in his non-Kingdom Come suit, so like in his what do we say, Superman Returns suit, but except the emblem is a lot bigger. Now I prefer it with the black emblem, if I'm being honest, but it still looks very cool, and we see him like, you know, flying out of Earth. Now we then go to Earth Prime, our new Earth, for our main heroes. Now they're honoring Oliver, and then like when they have his like suit on display and stuff, and they're saying their final words, and Supergirl uses her like heat vision to light up an arrow, and then they made a Justice League like table, which was so cool, and I just cannot wait to see what they will do in this area going forward into newer crossovers. And yeah, that is where part 5 of Crisis on Infinite Earths, aka the finale episode, ends. Overall, this Crisis crossover was the best thing I've ever seen on TV. I loved the Oliver moments in this crossover. I loved every single part. Is except the Batwoman episode, like that was an episode, but then the other episodes were awesome. Oliver Queen is my highlight character for this entire crossover, especially during part 4, and I just cannot wait to see what's coming after this, and I'm giving this an easy 10 out of 10. Now obviously next week in terms of Arrow, we are getting Green Arrow and the Canaries backdoor pilot, and I have seen the trailer for that. It looks awesome, I'm not gonna lie. And we do see some like Oliver Queen, like Stephen Amell isn't there, but like we see like a picture of him and stuff. So I am very interested to see like what Mia's gonna do in terms of that and stuff. And then we have the ultimate final episode, which will be 2 hour long the week after. And I don't know, from my sources, I've heard that Stephen Amell will be in that episode, but I have no idea how, because Oliver Queen seems dead at the moment at least. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out. Yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.